What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Bitcoin market update. In these videos, you will learn how to use technical analysis to forecast price movements in your favorite cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others. I apologize for my absence over the past couple days. I did not know that when I went up north, I wasn't going to have Wi-Fi. So that is why I was not able to do the past couple days. But we'll cover it all in today's video where we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. So let's dive into Bitcoin on the monthly time frame here. Last month, we had a very good monthly candle close if we are a bull, because we had a longer lower wick here of people buying the dip, which makes three lower wicks all in kind of the same general area, starting at around 35K and going down to about 29K roughly. And since that point, we had above average bull volume here of people buying the dip, and then a nice solid candle close with a short upper wick of people taking profits. So now where do we go next? Well, the next logical place for us is this R2, which is up here at about 46,300. That's going to be our next main resistance zone on this rise in price. After that point, we don't really have much to go off of on this time frame, but we're going to go down to the lower time frames and see what we have going on there. As of right now, this is the zone that I am currently looking for price to potentially reject off of this R2. Now, I do expect a rejection somewhere below the 65K high on the first test. So when we come down right here, the reason why we said it's likely we're going to form a higher low is because of the magnitude of this move. It's very unlikely for us to go from 9,800 to 65K and then just come all the way down below 9,800 on the first push. It's more likely that we will have to come down, form a higher low, and then come up again and form a lower high. And then it's up to see what that next move is going to be. Is it going to be a higher low again and just keep tightening up? Or is it going to be a lower low? So this is where you'll see something like this. So we come up, we form our lower high somewhere below this high. We come down, we either will form another higher low here, so then price is contracting, and then maybe a higher high, or maybe another lower high, and then a lower low. Or maybe instead of setting a higher low there, we come up, we form our lower high, and then we come down and form a lower low. That would be the most bearish scenario. So a more likely scenario, provided that we get a decent bounce here on this move up, will be probably this scenario where we come down and form a higher low. And then it'll be a matter of, are we going to come up and form a higher high? Or are we going to come up and form a lower high? And if we form a lower high on that one, then I would expect a potential move. I would expect a breakdown from there, because that shows me an inability to form a higher high because you had two attempts at it. So that's what I'll be looking for on that time frame. If we go down to the weekly time frame, we can see that this candle closes in about 4 hours. And this candle right now has a very strong candlestick forming here with increasing bull volume and a short upper wick of profit taking so far. So if this closes with this short upper wick of profit taking, what we will potentially see in the following week is good follow through up to potentially that R2 pivot there. If not there, at least above the high of this week, which is up at about 42,600. So really good follow through from the bulls off of this low that we set here. So we said when the price was coming down here on this channel, it's likely we're going to form a higher low with the same exact thing that we just talked about in the monthly time frame because of the magnitude of this move. So because we moved up pretty significantly here from this low at 28,796, it's likely that we'll form a higher low here. And then I said it depends on if we'll see a higher high or if we'll go for a lower high. I thought it was actually going to be a lower high, to be honest. So I was wrong. This ended up actually being a higher high. And what carried us higher was what I talked about a couple videos ago, which is a short squeeze. So that was what propelled price up at this velocity which is good to see for the bulls. If we're a bull, we want to see a very strong move off of these lower prices here because we want to see a strong aversion to these sorts of prices. We want to see people saying, $35,000 Bitcoin, I'm buying that right away. That's what the bulls want to see. And that's exactly what they just did see. So now, if we look at this from a super guppy perspective, you can see the super guppy held once again here for another test. So we had one here into the green longer term EMAs. We had another bounce right here off of these EMAs, and then a third bounce here. Now we're operating above them. So these are still holding as support. Good news for the bulls there. Nothing to be worried about. Let's go down to the 3-day time frame. On the 3-day time frame, this is also closing in about 4 hours, but the interesting development here is going to be probably the declining bull volume that we're seeing here. So this is not surprising, given that we've had 3 solid 3-day candles, which is 9 days in a row here of just bull. And so this move then will look to potentially form a higher low. Now, where will that higher low be formed is the question. We have support here, this gray zone, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. We also have this 3-day support zone down here. And this is our support zone from where we had our bear trend here. And then we pushed right through this zone. So this will potentially be a support zone on a retest right around 34,600. The other kind of zones to keep an eye on are these resistance zones. What in the heck? Why do they look like that? Oh, it's because on the 3-day time frame, that's what they look like. So that's, well, I guess there's a pivot zone there that we'll have for the next candle, potentially here. Let's see if does a 2-day look like that? No, it's different. Okay, so we'll go back to the 3-day quick. Just disregard the pivots. So now that we're getting some declining bull volume here, we'll probably see this 3-day candle close a little bit lower than where it is now as people price that in towards the 4-hour close. Or I'm sorry, it will be the 4-hour close, but the weekly and the 3-day close. So as we approach the weekly close, more people will be going bullish because of the weekly close. They'll be saying, well, this is bullish, clearly because the weekly candle looks great. But the 3-day doesn't look as good. So it really depends on how that's going to go. I guess we'll see. This is the main resistance zone for price, and this is up here at about 47K up to about 52K. So this is our zone back here from our bull trend. So very clear here, low, high, higher low, and then higher high. And we draw a box around that zone, and you can see that this is where we have 2 bounces off of the zone. One that propelled us to an all-time high, actually, and then another one that led to our lower highs here, and then potentially this drawdown where we pushed right through it. Now that we've closed below it, this should be resistance on a retest. So that'll be where the price will potentially stop on this rise if we come down, form a higher low, and then come up and form a higher high. So now we'll go to the 2-day and we'll talk about this gray zone here. So this gray zone, I mean, it doesn't get cleaner than this, folks. This is what we call a sniper entry right here. This is what this is. So this zone, we talked about this zone back here. We started talking about this in June. So we started talking about this, actually, we probably started talking about this back here. I bet you I started talking about this on June 14th. I bet you if you go back and look at those videos, I started talking about this zone. We push right through this zone. It turns it into resistance. We resist it here and here, and then we go above it, and we close 2 candlesticks above it. Now, what happens after that? I said if we get 2 candle closes above it, I said that on this candle right here, this is going to turn into support. And what happened right here? Bing. Here's your entry, sniper entry, bing, off to the races. Now, what was the profit potential on that? The profit potential on that was about 11% on spot. 11% on spot. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll take that. If we look at this from a support zone, it's already been tested once now. So now the challenge here is how many times is it going to hold the support if we keep testing it? It held here at least twice, But here, we'll see if it does again. Maybe it'll hold for 2 again. Maybe it'll hold for more than 2. I think it's likely that it will hold for probably at least 2. And the reason for that is because this is a 2-day level, and 2-day levels usually take a little bit to go through. This we tested here once, but I think one more test is reasonable for this to hold. So if we do come down there, that is probably where we'll bounce. If we look at this from a daily perspective, we can see that today's daily candle is looking pretty bearish here. We did get a confirmed bull trend though here, interestingly enough. So we have our low here, we have a high, higher low, and then higher high right here with 2 candle closes above this key high. So very good news for the bulls there to change the daily trend. If this wasn't convincing enough, we finally got the actual confirmed pattern up here, which we like to see. And now we'll potentially see what comes in the coming days. Right now, we have what we consider a Darth Maul candle with a candle that goes above the previous daily's high and low. And now you can see the reason why it's called that is because these longer wicks on both sides of it. So we'll see where that candle closes in 4 hours, and then likely I think we'll probably see a short drawdown at least into kind of maybe this kind of zone here where we rejected off of it. That might hold a support. We'll see. If we go to the 12-hour, that is a valid support level for price, this black candlestick right here. So let's draw a rectangle around that baby real quick. So that is going to be the main support zone for price if we get down to it. We did not touch it. We got close there, but you can see we didn't actually hit it. This is going to be the area where price initially rejected off of it and people sold their Bitcoin right here. So we had a high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and right here when we came down, this is where people were selling their Bitcoin. So once they see the confirmed bull trend, this is an opportunity for them to buy it back on the zone. So we'll see if price bounces off of this zone in the coming days. Because it's a 12-hour level, it's going to take at least a day for this to play out because it's a 12-hour level. So those are the main areas that I'm looking at for Bitcoin's price action. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like this video, give it a like down below and subscribe for future educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And if you haven't already, check out our beginner tactical analysis course that we released on Leutheria.com. This is where you can learn all of the foundational elements of technical analysis like candlestick analysis, volume analysis, technical indicators, support and resistance, and a ton of other stuff as well. So check that out. There's a link for that in the description below as well, where you can get 20% off that course. And in addition to that, we also just released our Leutheria Signals Discord channel. So if you're interested in receiving signals right to your phone on Bitcoin and Ethereum trading ideas that I have, you can subscribe to that by sending an email to team@leutheria.com, and then we'll send you the information you need to fill out to gain access to that Discord group, and then we hope to see you in there relatively soon. It would be a lovely day to see you in there, have a conversation with you about tactical analysis, one of my favorite things to talk about, honestly. I'm such a nerd about it, and really just trade together. So hopefully some of you will join that, and I will get to talk to you guys in there. Until tomorrow, onward and upward.